Alright everyone, welcome back to part 2 of Sungrow and Camoon by Creatorforce. Now, we've got some fairly nice maps to deal with here, however, this might be the only main issue. Massive increase in regrow rate, all regrows, alternate balloons round to 100. Other than that though, these two seem fairly calmed down. So, let's just jump into it, no time to waste. So I've also been at work today, and everything went relatively smoothly. I didn't... Last time I remember mentioning on this map about planes and helis being good, completely forgot that they weren't even an option after being able to choose our stuff. The good thing is we can still place a Zeely wherever the hell we want. Does a Zeely get range buffs anytime soon? Attack range. Does that count? Base attack largest? No, that's radius. Increased range. Okay, wow, level 15, huh? Okay, so we might not place a Zeely immediately. I kind of want to put a Zeely up here somewhere. But we can definitely start off with a good old necromancer. Always lovely to see a good old necromancer on the field. And then we can have a super monkey, because the super monkey, no one cares about that garden. Good. Very pleased that nobody cares about that little garden in terms of like block division or anything. What was it? Sungrow. So we're going to be facing a bunch of regrow balloons, eh? Alright. Either way, I'll still give him camo detection, just because, you know, I'm smart. Alright, let's do this. Okay, yeah, so it's a little scary at first, but once again, we have a wall. Now, where do I want a Zeely exactly? Probably next to the fountain, I would say. Yeah, see, this is the worst part about this whole map. I can't put fucking anything here until it's like over here, and it opens up slightly more. Oh, see, and then I run out of time. Admittedly, I wasted that time myself by complaining, but still, it was worth it. I genuinely don't know where to put a lot of this stuff, because that's a big ass barrier right there. I guess I'll just farm until I know what to do. It's a pretty safe bet, honestly. Okay, that one's open. I think I do want to place the alchemist here to buff these two bozos. Because, I mean, they're our only DPS at the moment, and it would be nice if they were stronger. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Also, there isn't going to be a massive rant today. There will be a small one, but not as bad as the other day. I'm gonna put you there and I'm gonna be happy with it. I saw how much money this was generating quickly and I was like, I gotta throw it down somewhere. But yes, so, oh, that's a lot. So the rant, right? Essentially, this is what went down. I got to be on boxes today, which was one of my favorite areas to be in terms of work. Oh wow, go RNG. So I was very pleased to be on boxes. Boxes is great. You just make the boxes, you chuck them down the line, everything works out perfectly if you're on boxes and you're me. So I did that for the majority of the day. And when I thought we were going to get switched off and changed, I didn't. So I got to stay on boxes all day. Admittedly, they apologized to me, because typically boxes is quite taxing on the body, especially the hands and the wrists, in terms of making the actual boxes themselves. So they apologized to me, being like, oh yeah, sorry, we don't have any other box makers on today, couldn't swap you off. And I was like, do not apologize. I love boxes. Boxes is great. And so they were like, oh, easy then, no worries. So they were pleased, and so was I, and all was going well. Until we were close to finishing. Now, when we got close to finishing, I thought to myself, okay, this will be fairly chill and sounds good. And as the day was going on, people would stop by and be of assistance, which was very lovely. I appreciated it. You know, if I was busy making boxes, someone would come by, see that there were still stickers to put on the boxes, and they would start throwing them on and passing them to me so I could continue making them, and it was great. It was actually great. Loved it. However, there was one person that went to help me. And don't get me wrong, as far as I have had interactions with this person, they have been very kind to me, very loud at times. Scared the shit out of me today, in fact, for no particular reason. In fact, it was a very minor reason, a reason a child would shout, but not a reason a grown adult would shout. So I was questioning the sanity of the person at that point. But essentially they tried to help me, but at the same time they knew what they were sort of doing and tried to make the process for them more efficient, when that's not really how helping someone works. At least in my mind, if you're going to help someone do something, rather than take over what they're doing, what you're looking to do is see what they do and just copy them and help them achieve what they're trying to achieve, right? I don't show up at everybody else's jobs, rearrange all their shit and tell them how to do it. You know, number one, I'm not trained to train people like that. Yet. And number two, if I do feel like there's a better way for them to do it, I will tell them. I will not force it upon them. So, I'm a very particular person with my boxes. It's a one-person job, typically. And so if I'm the one person on the job, I like to, you know, set things up how I like them. Because guess what? I'm not going to set them up how other people like them, because they're not doing the job. Makes sense? Indeed it does. Right. So, I'm quite worried about 63 here, actually. Let's do this. If we can fit it anywhere. Can I? No. I wanted a village in there. Why does a village have to be so fucking fat? Right. But yeah, so essentially, this person came up to me and was like, oh yeah, I'll help you, I'll put stickers on the boxes and stuff. And I was like, cool, sounds good. And they did do that, but they started rearranging things to make the job they were helping me with easier for them. Oh yeah, I was worried for a good reason here. And so I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, if that makes things easier for you, I guess that's okay. You know, sure, why not? But yeah, it was not a good time for me. It really wasn't. Can I get a Phoenix to solve my problems here? Phoenix, then Zeely's ability, and then Phoenix round 2? That sounds like a potential solution. So yeah, and to be fair, like, yes, they achieved well. That's a weird way to put it. They technically did their job correctly, but they also did it in a way that led them to, that made them more open to making mistakes and fucking up. Because essentially, we have to do things in a particular order, because, okay, I won't bore you with the immediate details, but essentially, you have to put the label on the box first, and scan it last. Right? There's a bunch of other things that you might have to do in between that time frame, but those are the main things. You just have to put it on the box first, and make sure that it gets scanned last. This is because if you scan something that has a dodgy ass box, then it's very annoying and difficult to undo that process. And so you make the box, make sure the box is fine, then you scan it, pass it on. The person that was, in quotation marks, helping me, immediately scanned the label before even putting it on the box in the first place. And then proceeded to put the label on the boxes and hoped that they would be fine before passing them to me. Because typically, the only time you figure out if a box is fucked or not is when you're trying to make the box. And if there's already a label on the box and the box is fucked, and it's already been scanned, there's a painful process to undo that for sure. But I don't know how to do it, which means I have to then go annoy someone who does know how to do it, and then they have to get annoyed at me, and I'm just like, I didn't fucking do it, it was this person who fucking did it, and they were just like, I'm just trying to help, and oh, it's a massive mess. Luckily, nothing went wrong. Luckily, nothing went wrong. But the opportunity for something to go drastically wrong was very high. Ah, and you might be saying to yourself, seems like a cool work environment. Couldn't you just tell them to not help you or to do it a different way? I've only been there like a couple months now, and this person has been there potentially years. So first of all, admittedly, even if their ways are wrong, it feels wrong for me to be questioning them. Plus, to be fair, I was kind of hoping that they'd fuck up at some point, and we would have to go through the painful process of figuring out how to undo that fuck up so that they would learn, because that is a great way for people to learn through their own mistakes. But sadly, it didn't happen, so they didn't learn. But yeah, also, this person's attitude and general vibe, I hate to use that word, but that's the best word for it, is one of, don't fuck with me. Because I'm gonna be an annoying asshole if you do. That was the vibe I was getting, and I had been told by my friend that works there, the friend that I trust, the friend that I spent a year at TAFE with, that, just in general, he doesn't go anywhere near her. As a rule of thumb, sort of thing. Like, she's nice enough, but if she's not, and you can't really tell if she is or isn't feeling it on the day, probably best just to steer clear. So yeah, I just kind of kept my mouth shut, struggled through the pain, got through it all, was quite sad that there was no fuck-ups that we had to redo, but yeah, all in all, it was a pretty good day. Oh. Feels good to get that off my chest. Fuck, I was thinking about it all day. God damn. That is very nice. Alright, how are we doing? How are we doing in this endeavor? 77 out of 81. Decent amount of damage being shared around here. Monkey Intelligence Bureau. We don't really need it. Just hitting these two and both of them can pretty much pop everything now that they know their stuff. We'll get some Plasma Blasts. I was recommended to get Plasma Blasts in the last video for extra damage. And yeah, sometimes I do, other times I just prefer the extra range. I know technically one's way better than the other if you put the super in the right spot in the first place, but yeah, I like to mix things up a bit. Test out the waters. See what's good. Interesting. So you can change the targeting of someone to be able to place things underneath the glass in another section. I didn't think they would allow that. Oh, that's actually quite handy then, because if you go Wall of Fire and you go top path, then you could potentially manipulate your Wall of Fire into an area that is covered by glass. That's handy. That can be very convenient. Alright, but this looks like it's all done for, which is great, because honestly, the mechanic of this map does annoy me to an extent. As much as I admire it, it does still annoy me, and I'm thinking that was the creator's intention. But still. it'll be good to not have a good 3/4 of most of the map blocked off. And double death. Goodbye. Oh, it's not the end. Yeah, sorry, it just doesn't feel natural going to any round beyond 80. It's a strange feeling, not gonna lie. But hey, it gives us a chance to get Prince of Darkness. Nice. We definitely needed that. Cool. Covered Gardens is done. Nighttime, which means the camouflaged balloons will come out. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. If they're already trying to hide from us, then it would be best to be camouflaged and appear at night. However, if, you know, they don't give a shit, it's best to be tanky and be able to regrow your lost layers, I guess. It does make sense, if you think about it weirdly enough. Okay, what do we want? I'm thinking Necromancer either side, but maybe that's overkill? Whoops, I didn't actually mean to do that. What I meant was Wall of Fire either side. And obviously with the camo. So, Azili, just chill for a bit. We will get back to you in a bit. Oh, and of course the balloon speed. The balloon speed has been altered. I forget about that one. This could lead to some unfortunate accidents. Like that right there. Okay, but in theory, if we just get one of these guys to Necromancer, that would be great. And we wouldn't have to fight so much. Where do we want a sniper? I don't really know a good spot for a sniper on this map. Maybe here? May seem a bit weird, but give you night vision. Maybe start popping the earlier balloons. Yeah, I think that would be better. Oh my god, Wall of Fire uptime needs to just happen faster. Please. I don't know how much longer my sniper can deal with the early rounds like this. Really not suited for it. Oh god, purple balloons. Yep, that's a threat. Thank you, sniper. Saving me, as always. Right. Let's do this, and leave you on first. Someone's got to hit first. Okay, okay. Things are looking better. Not the best, but better. I say we remove this and put Azili up there. Okay, nice. Don't have snipers for leads, but we've got Azili. And Azili, I think, is the only hero in the game, aside from sorta if you technically count having her ability at level 3 instantly. I think Azili's the only hero in the game that spawns in with camo and lead popping power. Straight out of the gate. You know? Because Pat can't see camo. Well, all of them have one weakness at least, if not both. Quincy's pretty fucking useless at level 1, but yeah, I feel like for the most part they either have camo detection or lead popping power early on, or a mixture, like sorta. Level 3 sorta can pop anything. You just throw down those blades and all the early game balloons just die. It's great. Even lead balloons. But yeah, I think technically Azili at level 1 is oh, I guess purple balloons is Azili's weakness, isn't it? Interesting. So, in theory, level 3 sorta, probably the best level 3 hero if you're looking for everything popping power really early on. Geraldo's probably also very good. I have a habit of making sweeping statements and then people just like being, but Geraldo though. I don't use Geraldo. I just don't. Too much brain thinky power. Way too much brain thinky power required. I get the feeling Geraldo is actually just a a big middle finger to all the average and below players of the community, because any single challenge that has been created by anyone above that, including Geraldo, will absolutely baffle the fuck out of everybody. You know, I've only successfully completed, I think, one Geraldo challenge. Like, ever. And I still have some nightmares about that. That was a difficult one. Oh, are we good here? I guess our defense is a little divided, isn't it? Unfortunate, unfortunate. Can we sell? Oh, God. That would have been so much worse if we couldn't. Right. How do we want to deal with this? If I sold this, I could put a super monkey. But what good would that do me? Azili's ability won't help me much. Maybe I'll just sell this guy for now, because who needs 2 shimmers? And we will, yeah, we'll put a super monkey. Go on. Go on. Treat yourself. Be super. See if that works out well for us. Don't know if it will, honestly. It looks like it helped, but we'll see when this thing pops, really. Okay, it's gonna pop sooner. Ooh, that's still painful, though. Still very painful. What could help here? What could help? It's not like any of them are regrowth balloons. So I feel like selling you and buying this guy was useful. Maybe we buy him a little further up so we can attack slightly longer. And then... we can't alk buff. I think that's too expensive, right? Yeah. Too expensive. So... I think we'll just retry this, but with a slightly better superposition. Maybe that'll make the difference. We can only hope. Ooh, that was pretty good. I will not lie, that was pretty good. Won't do it, though. Damn. Honestly, this map is one of the greatest for having water-based towers. Kinda sucks that we don't. Yeah, you're definitely the liability here. Maybe a little further up? Because, I mean, it is a Moab. It does have quite a fat target of a body. So if we do something like that... maybe? I don't know, maybe I'm just wasting time trying this strategy when it obviously is not working. We'll see, we'll see. Could be better now, could be better now. Was targeting for slightly longer there. And... ooh, that was quite a bit better. Not the victory type of better, but almost. Can we get semi-automatic if I sell this guy? Oh, we can. I don't know if that'll make the difference, but let's see. In fact, I highly doubt it'll make the difference, but it is attacking constantly rather than every now and then. Cool, cool. Just checking. Just checking. No need to arrest me, officer. It's just checking. Right. That's what you say in Skyrim all the time. Don't worry, I wasn't picking their pocket. I was just checking. Just checking. It's completely legal. Let's ditch you for an alk. With perishing potions and acidic mixture dip. Does that help us? I imagine it will. It seems to be helping out quite a bit, but once again, I'm not entirely sure. Ooh, can... you know what, I'll take it. I'll take it. I was gonna say, can we take that? But yeah, we can and we will. It's round 40, so best just to leave it. Just to leave it. We got away with a cheeky couple of lives lost there, but 58 is still plenty of lives to beat off the coast, which is the main thing. Off the coast, big pain in the ass. So, if we have enough lives to deal with that, I'll be happy. Ceramics seem fine. Right, let's farm up a little. Let's not get too greedy. Okay, let's get a little greedy, but not overly greedy. Also, I think I told the, I think I said this on Twitch, on my Twitch stream, but I don't think I told you guys this. So, when I was recording the first part of the Odyssey the other day, I may or may not have mentioned that there was a certain box that I had purchased that I hadn't opened at the time of recording. But essentially, the idea was, I bought a Yu-Gi-Oh box, or a Yu-Gi-Oh booster box online, which contains a shit ton of little booster packs for the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. And I bought it specifically to try and get one card, which, number one, I could use in my deck, and number two, first of all, I bought the box for the booster packs for around $94. Keep that number in mind for a split second, because the card I was looking for on eBay at the time was selling for a minimum of $150. So, yeah. If I had gotten even just that one card alone and nothing else, I would have made a profit. If I chose to sell that card, of course. And if I got the card in the first place. And guess who got the card in the first place? Fucking me! Yeah, that's right. I got it. I got the actual card. It was brilliant, honestly. Because I was originally just looking up the card on its own to purchase. And that's when it caught my eye. Because I was like, hold the fuck up. This individual card, first of all, sells for $150 minimum, and second of all, it only sold for that low because it was in another language. The English versions of those cards cost even more. I'm talking like $300, $200. Easy. Now, admittedly, my odds on actually getting that card out of the box weren't high in the first place. You know, statistically, it was probably a bad move, because you could open multiple of these boxes and not get it at all. So, you know, I got quite lucky. But damn, it is crazy to think that I have a piece of cardboard next to me right now that if I sold it online, I could make $200. That's just mind-blowing to me, you know? That's just crazy. The only bad thing is, I now have to decide whether to sell the card and make a big profit, hopefully. I mean, in theory, I should. Or I do actually need the card in one of my decks, so I could just keep it. Here's the problem with keeping it. Yu-Gi-Oh cards, especially this one, because it is a very recent card that has been made. So, like, it is still quite fresh and new to life itself, let alone the game. But here's the issue. If I do choose to keep it and put it in my deck and use it because it's an amazing card, essentially you can tell if a Yu-Gi-Oh card is good, typically, not in all cases, just based on the price. You know, if a card is selling for a shitload of money, odds are it's a good card, or odds are it's a rare / misprint / ghost rare, some other type of bullshit rarity thing, right? So this is a very good card because it's just got some insane effects attached to it. if you are wondering what the card is, because who knows, maybe I do have someone out there who watches my BTD6 stuff that is also a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's highly unlikely. Nobody in the Twitch streams seem to care about Yu-Gi-Oh! But, for those of you who are wondering what card it is, first of all, it is what? As of recording this, it is the 25th of November, 2022. How do we deal with camos on 63? It seems fine. Yeah, so it is the 25th of November 2022. And the card I am speaking of is known as Baron de Fleur. Seems French in origin, maybe. But yes, Baron de Fleur. It is a Synchro Warrior effect monster. Level 10, 3000 attack, 2400 defense. And it is insanely strong at the time of recording. Who knows, maybe in a couple years' time people will look back on this card and laugh. Ha! I wish I could. But yeah, essentially the problem is, if I choose to keep it and use it in my deck rather than sell it right now, odds are, at some point in time in the future, I'm looking at you guys watching in the future. Why are you watching this in the future? This is a weird video for you to watch in the future when this week has already passed in terms of the Odyssey. Anyway, so yeah, in the future, the problem is, at some point in time, this card is probably going to get reprinted. And essentially what that means is, there's going to be more copies of this card available in the world. Which, generally, if you know anything about, you know, buy and sell, supply and demand, typically the more of something there is, the lower the price will be for that something. So, you know, precious gemerald, only one in existence, fucking sells for billions of dollars, and is probably dangling off the neck of a rich person right now. On the other hand, stone. You want to buy a stone for like a cent? In fact, you know what? I'll give it to you for free. I've got plenty of stones. I can go find more if I really want stones. You know, it's sort of the equivalent of that. I don't want this card to turn into a stone. But at the same time, it's such a good card. I feel like it will probably, like, worst case scenario, this card will probably not drop below $30. Which is still insane, considering I bought the whole box of, like, what was it, 5 cards per booster pack, 36 packs? Calculate that however you will. Well over 100 cards were in that box, and one of them was worth $30. At minimum. Minimum in the future, that card will still be worth around $30. That's still pretty good odds, you know? Like 1/3 of the box is just paid for itself. Right. What's the deal on this one? ABR. Regrow rate's insane. Moab speed is slightly lessened. Okay, okay. I'm thinking quite simply here. Whoa, not Prince of Darkness just yet. Hold your horses. No, but I do want something like this as well. Because regrow rate seems a little high for my liking. So we're going to do that. Jungle Drums it, may as well radar scan it. Then we'll slap you in here, and then we'll slap you on there. Am I happy with that for now? Yeah, not happy enough to put down a banana farm just yet. Maybe in a round or two, but not just yet. And then I think I'll get this guy to be a sun avatar with extra range. Oh, yeah, I forgot you spawned things way the fuck over there. Yeah, that's useful. Well, it actually kinda is at the moment, but it sucks in terms of trying to pop things nearby. You know, maybe that would be of use. Right. The good thing is, because the Necromancer's basically at the start of the map, I can throw this down and not really worry about it popping balloons before it gets within the Necromancer's range. Oh, but that is fucking shit. Oh my god. That is actually dreadful. Why can't you just choose to spawn things closer to you? Okay. 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 I can potentially find a way to get out of this. I say potentially. There might not be a way to get out of this easily. Silence the balloons to try and shut them up. Okay, that's good. That is better. That is slightly better. If we just alk buff a few things, you know, it'll get stronger. And then we can silence you again. See, that's all we need is to silence the speech. Oh god, we're gonna die. Oh, wow, we didn't die. What happened? Were we somehow still under the effect of, thingo? Oh, no, never mind. No, we're just good. I don't even think the last couple of sentences I just said then made any sense whatsoever, but it doesn't need to, because you all know what I mean. You all know what I mean, don't you? And if you don't, keep up, come on. Back in the race, back on the saddle. Okay. So far, so good. I am still a little scared, but let's be honest. Whoever heard of a round between 65 and 74 killing someone? Like, what actually happens on those rounds? Does anyone know? Does anyone genuinely know what happens on any one of those rounds? Who can actually pause the video right now and not lie to themselves and say they know exactly what one of the rounds between 65 and 74 consists of? I genuinely couldn't tell you. They're all just a blur. They're all a blur of, oh, I beat like round 65 and 63. I'm probably good until 76. You know? Generally, there's no actual difficulty in the rounds in between. I've found, at least. Silence. Right. Marketplace. Always going to be a good choice if you're on ABR and you have to go to at least round 100. That sucks, but we will get through it together. Oh, I can't wait to go to work tomorrow. Well, that's not true. That's not true. I can totally wait. What I mean to say is, after work tomorrow, I will have a day off, which will be nice. And I will be eagerly awaiting being able to enjoy that. Silence, balloons. Silence. I don't know what you would do if you didn't choose Azili. Like, Adora is great and all, but Adora's abilities don't come anywhere near to being able to actually help you with regrow balloons. I mean, I guess the Ball of Light's pretty strong in that situation, but overall, I don't think it would actually help you all that much. You know, it's not super great. It's not literally shutting down 500% regrow rate for zero cost, you know? Admittedly though, between the two, Adora is more widely useful, I would wager. Just because damage and overall, we're not going to insane rounds of like 100 plus consistently. So I would say, you know, for the most part, early game stuff, you can just trust Adora to do well. But yeah, if you're going for Moab's late game, and if regrow is actually a pain in the ass, then 100% pick Azili. I don't know why you wouldn't. Do we go for the Sun Avatar now? May as well, right? Extra range is always always something we can get later. But yeah, this is much better now. The issue we had early on was that Prince of Darkness's DPS isn't actually that great, except for with the resurrected balloons. And for there to actually be resurrected balloons, balloons need to die within the Necromancer's radius. And it's just awkward because all the strong, heavy hitting, damaging side of this tier 5 is over here and not within the radius. Oh, it annoys me. Silence balloons. So yeah, once we got some kills happening earlier on, that's why I tried to place a sniper to solve it. Things were going a lot better. Okay. Big fortified BFB. Also, you might not believe this, but I was tasked today by my mate, who's also, you know, technically a semi-boss for me. Basically, anytime I don't know what to do, I go to him and ask him if he wants me to do anything or what can I help with, sort of thing. So yeah, he's pretty much my boss. I was tasked today by him. He handed me a bunch of sort of cling wrap. Basically, anytime we need to store something that could potentially fall off a high shelf and hurt someone, we cling wrap it. So we put a bunch of transparent wrap all around it so that it all stays together and doesn't fall off and injure anyone. Right? Makes sense. Smart. Putting things on high shelves probably make sure they're secure. Right? So he handed me a lot of that wrapping that had just been removed from something that we unwrapped, right? Now, typically that would go straight in the bin, but he handed it to me as if I needed it. And then he also handed me a roll of blank stickers, which usually you would put into the printing machine to print off the sticker that goes onto the box, etc. Right? But these were all blanks, so they obviously hadn't been printed, and there wasn't that many on the roll itself, so typically we wouldn't use those. We'd put on a full one rather than put on a bunch of small ones that we have to keep changing over when they eventually run out, right? So yeah, he handed me a bunch of cling wrap and a bunch of blank stickers, and I was like, okay, this is weird, but alright, I'll bite. What am I doing? And he said to me the most wonderful phrase I've ever heard at work. He handed me this ball. It was like all balled up together in the cling wrap, and then the stickers were separate. He handed me both of them and he said, "Can you scrunch up this cling wrap into a ball and then put stickers all over the outside so that we have a soccer ball to kick around?" And so I immediately said, "Fuck yes, I can do that. Easy. Give me a sec." And basically, I was tasked to make a soccer ball for warehouse shenanigans, and I did. And it's a pretty damn good soccer ball. Oh, that was amazing. I really loved that. And then we proceeded to kick it around in I don't know really what you would call the room. It's not the production room. We wouldn't do that in the actual warehouse itself. Too many things to knock over or annoy. But yeah, we just kicked it around in like this little room before going into the production room. It was good fun. It was actually good fun. And so now I'm thinking that is most likely gonna be another task I will be given in the future. Of just, hey, make this. It's necessary, I swear. Alright, what do we need? What do we need? I'm kind of slacking off a little. I don't know why I went bottom path when we've already got camera detection. Weird. Oh well. I did it again. What the fuck am I doing? Okay. But I do like having both of those abilities. What can we get? How much do these sell for? 10 grand. So if I'm $10,000 off of something, I can quickly sell both of my farms to afford it. What would I want? A cripple moab would actually be incredibly useful right now, and it's one of the few things we can actually get. So if I put this within range of camo detection so I can focus on faster firing, slap you on strong for now, get a maim moab. Cripple moab's not as expensive as other things we could have purchased, but we don't have many rounds anyway. So 36,000. Okay, so we only need 26,000 before the round 100 hit. That's doable. That is very much doable. Plus we've got Zeely's ability and 2 Phoenix abilities to help us out, which is pretty damn good. Slowing down a bunch of those ZOMGs. Okay, I like it. I like it. Admittedly, I'm typically not a big fan of maim moab and cripple moab because it piles up all the ZOMGs together if you have them on strong, but okay, it's working out. It's working out. Steadily feeding the Prince of Darkness here. Cool. Cool. 95. How do we feel about 95? Could be a little terrifying. Just because of all the spiders. That's fine. We slaughter spiders. Okay. 96. I kind of forget what's on 96 a lot of the time, so I imagine it's nothing too crazy. Then again, this is ABR. Can't underestimate. Do we need to use the Zeely's ability here? It might be good. 97 isn't typically that crazy. But neither is this by the looks of it. Oh, but we are running out of Necromancer stuff. That could be an issue. Let's try a Phoenix, just to help clean up a little. Okay, there we go. We summoned another BFB. Hey, there you go. 3 BFBs will do it. We don't need much more than that, to be honest, to beat that. Let's do this here. I would say it's a good call. Oh yeah, seems like a good call. And then we only really need like 5,000, honestly. Probably should have saved it for this wave, actually. But for this wave, we can get cripple. And use a Phoenix. Just to help us out. We can get cripple moab, get a Phoenix to help. Keep 1 banana farm, just in case we do need it. But hopefully, we shouldn't. In theory, we should be fine now. Ooh. Hey, we're fine. Right. I think the last thing I will place, though, is another super. This one being a Dark Knight. Send out the wizard. Wizard, do your thing. Right. How are we looking? Bad. Actually, no, we're looking pretty good, but I believe there's a second one. If there isn't, I've been lied to. Oh, wait, no, yeah, this is 99, not 100. Here's 100. Okay. So we do this. Oh, right, you can't target those until a later level. Well, it's a good thing I've got 2 Phoenix abilities on my team. They won't be the same, but they will help compensate for my stupidity. Thank you very much, Phoenix lovers. We should be fine here, and is that it? Hey, look at that. Beautiful. And there we go. Wow, didn't even need monkey knowledge. I was a little bit scared of that last map, but we did well. I must admit, I'm not a fan of, like, for the most part, I think I've said this before, probably in the part 1, but I'm not a fan of, like, most of the towers being used here. Like, I know we were also given the choice of, like, tack shooter, but that was, like, the only other option we could have picked. I like having a wide variety and then having to narrow it down to what we need, because it feels like the win was almost guaranteed if all the towers are kind of pre-picked. Anyway, maybe that's just me, but Creatorforce always does make pretty good Odysseys. Every single time. always throws in a bit of a curveball just to confuse you a little and be like, ooh, that could suck. But overall, Creatorforce makes some great Odysseys, and this is no exception. Sungrow and Camoon, love it. Alright, that is going to do it, but what Insta-monkeys do we get from our totems? Now, I am looking for primary Insta-monkeys, so we will open a boomerang one. Also, fun fact, completing the Odyssey just on its own instantly gets you to the second tier boxes, if you haven't already done any work in the collection event yet. So just keep that in mind. Very nice, very nice. And we'll do some more boomers as well. Cool. Love that. Slowly working my way to building up a good collection there. So that was Sungrow and Camoon by Creatorforce Part 2. No monkey knowledge required. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone, and have a great week.